You did not lose anything because it was never yours in the first place.
Every single one of those people that you meet, they do have a purpose in your life. It's just that not every single one of them has the purpose to stay there forever.
Welcome, beautiful, confident soul, to our new video. I'm Sofia.
And I'm Anna.
Attachment is the root of suffering. Every time you fixate on something, you need something or someone exactly the way you want them to be, the situation to turn out exactly you want it to turn out. And when it doesn't, you feel sad. You suffer because you fixated on it. You tried to control it, but there are some things that you cannot control, and those are basically all the external things. Everything external is out of your control. The only thing you can control is yourself, how you react, not how someone is going to react or what they're going to do.
Being obsessed with trying to control the outcomes to situations is what will actually control you. You will never be able to just freely exist because you're always going to have that fear, like what is going to happen.
In order to have peace in this life and to truly be happy and free, you need to release the grip you have on what you think life should be and just let it, embrace it as it is, Just be focused on embracing what is and not fixating on what you think should be, because it is out of your control.
I saw this quote saying that rejection is actually redirection. It redirects you to something even better. And that leads us to, I've already mentioned this before, but once again, letting go of people and things creates more room in your life for better things to come in. If you fill your life up with all the people who cause negativity for you, who do not influence you positively, you will simply have no space left for the better people to come in who will actually support you in your growth journey. The point is, you simply have to let go of people and things that are no longer serving you. Why? Because that way you're creating space for the good things to come in.
You also have to realize that nothing belongs to you. Only you belong to you. Nobody else, nothing external is yours. And what we often think is that we own all these people around us. And so it's so hard to let go, because you then say I lost her or whatever, I lost him, but it was never yours. It did not belong to you. It was not like it was promised for you. You did not lose anything because it was never yours in the first place.
And related to that, being detached also means that you are being in control, because otherwise other people will control you. All your emotions will depend on that person. One thing I also read is that you can be infinitely close to other people without letting them consume you and own you.
And again, you have to realize what is in your control and what isn't. And what isn't in your control, you should let go of worrying about it, because you cannot control it, you cannot change it, you cannot do anything about it. So why worry about it if it's out of your hands? And the things that you cannot control are the past. It's done. There is nothing you can do about it now. It is done. Finished. Future as well. You don't know the future. It's not here. You cannot do anything about it because you don't know what's going to happen. You can do your best in the present, be in the present, and also other people, what they do, what they think about you, how they act, it is completely out of control. Nothing you do has effect on them. They will do whatever they want to do. But the thing that you can control is yourself. Your perception of things, how you react to things, how you view life.
And often the root of being attached is actually holding on to the memories in the past. And that is literally the past. You cannot go back to it. You should focus on how things are right now. You may have good memories, like you were so happy back then. Are you happy now? Yeah, so basically, do not let memories in the past blind you. You should focus on the situation right now. If the current situation is not serving you, it is not good for your mental health, simply leave.
Yeah, and there is this quote. It goes, your future needs you, your past doesn't. Your past is done. Like, you cannot do, again, anything about it. You need to put your focus on the present moment, on what you can do right now, and not what you should have done in the past, because it's done.
Also, you know how I said previously that filling up your life with so much people who do not affect you positively takes up space from the people who should actually come in? One thing that I heard recently is that holding on to the wrong people for very long periods of time actually takes away the time you have with the people that you are meant to be with.
Also, you need to realize that everything is temporary. People and situations are temporary, and in this life it is meant to be like that. So we should never view like losses, again, it's not a loss because you didn't own anyone, but losses of people, you shouldn't view losses of people as like the biggest tragedy, because everything is temporary. Everything will eventually change. How you feel right now won't be how you feel forever. Who you have in your life now might not be who you have forever. And then when it's time for that person or that situation to pass, just let it go. It's okay. You gained what was meant for you to gain from that experience or that person, and it's obviously now time for them to leave. It is no longer serving you. It is no longer meant to be in your life, and you should embrace that.
Another thing related to trying to control every situation, every outcome, to control other people, you simply cannot control other people, nor control or influence their decisions. If they want to do something, they will do it, period. And so stop disrespecting yourself and just let them go. Let them do their thing. Let them be themselves, and then decide if you actually want to be with them.
How people act is how they feel about you. You have to just look at it straightforward, no rose-colored glasses, no like obsessing, like imagining fake scenarios. No, they will show you exactly how they feel, that's how they act, and you take only that in consideration. You should just decide whether you want to be blind or not.
Yeah, so if they act like they do not want you in their life, they do not want to be with you, or even if they are like pretending to be so or giving you mixed signals, take it as a no. Do not like live on that tiny bit of hope that you have, because the most likely answer is that they do not actually want you, they are playing with you.
And you deserve more. You deserve more than mixed signals. And you should only be with people, be friends with people that you know are certain about you. Why should you take like mixed signals and be satisfied with mixed signals? No. Mixed signals equals to no. When you are full of question marks, exclamation marks, once they do something and you're like, what? It's no. It's bye.
Yeah, if somebody actually wants you, if they're certain about you, they're not going to give you mixed signals. They're going to tell you directly that they want you in their life.
Yes. Mixed signals are literally sheer torture. Like, when you get mixed signals, it's the time to let go. You don't need that. You don't need that kind of suffering in your life when you can have someone who is 100% certain about you, who straightforward shows you how they feel about you, and you don't need to overthink. Yeah, so if they act like they don't care about you, believe them.
Okay, one very important thing that you need to learn when you're trying to detach is learning your attachment style. I heard Liz say that anxious attachment attracts avoidant attachment. And as soon as I heard that, I literally stopped the video and sat in silence for a minute because that is so true. And that was my case so many times. And so once you learn your attachment style and what attachment style it attracts, you can learn to defy it and simply detach and not let it consume you.
If you think like, or you're not sure, but you think that you maybe have anxious attachment style, you go look it up, like what it means psychologically.
And why did I mention that? Because one-sided attachment, such as being anxious attachment with a person who's avoiding attachment, that will always drain you. You will simply have no energy left. That will take all of you, just trying to give your all to this one person who simply cannot give it back. Why? Because they are avoidant.
Generally, being attached will drain you because, again, you are like trying to control outcomes and people, and they're simply not in your control again, and then you get hurt every time it doesn't go your way.
In order to actually let go and detach, you need to find inner peace. The first step to finding that inner peace and detaching is understanding that you do not depend on anyone. Another really important thing that has really changed my mindset is that outgrowing people and places is completely normal, and that is actually a sign of personal growth. And if you are not outgrowing people and growing yourself, then what are you doing? And the point is, once again, it is completely okay and normal and expected to outgrow people and situations, and that is when you should step in and let go of those people.
Yeah, you should not like hold on to it just because you know each other for 10 years or because, I don't know.
And that's again reminiscing on the past.
Yeah, because no, if you outgrew them, if you are no longer at the same level, and that doesn't mean they're necessarily bad. It just means you are now headed for a different path.
The reason it is actually so hard to detach and let go from people is because you are holding on to the familiar things in life, and that will never allow you to grow.
Our brain is wired for comfort and for familiar things. It is not wired for happiness, whatever. And so it will constantly try to keep you in familiar places, being with familiar people, and it will be very scared when you try to change that. That's why it's so hard to get out of your comfort zone, because your brain is wired again for comfort. And so when you find yourself in a situation where you need to let go, your brain is panicking, like, oh no, this is not what we're used to doing. This feels comfortable being with this toxic person. I want to stay with this toxic person because I know exactly what they're going to do. I know how I'm going to feel. So my emotions, the pattern of my emotions are constant, are familiar to me, to my brain. And it will try to do everything, will try to trick you to go back to people and to stay in places that no longer serve you just because they are familiar.
Okay, so there is this whole concept about the comfort zone. You're basically living in this small closed circle, and every time you step out of your comfort zone, that circle expands. And what is that circle? It is full of things that you are familiar with. Everything that you are familiar with, once again, is what you're comfortable with. And so the only way to grow or to expand your circle is to actually step out of your comfort zone at least like every single month. And that means doing the unfamiliar things and allowing them to become familiar. And it is so important to understand that some people are simply there for you to help you and support you in growing, to fill this part of your life with joy. They're not meant to be there forever.
Yes, you really have to get a grasp on that. as I said, nothing is forever.
Every single one of those people that you meet, they do have a purpose in your life. It's just that not every single one of them has the purpose to stay there forever.
You are going to grave alone. No one is forever, and it's not meant to be like that. People come and go. It's okay. Some new people will come.
Allow others to be who they are, and then decide if you want them in your life. And then allow yourself to be who you are. Do not force situations, because solutions will emerge. And then uncertainty is reality. You should embrace it. And what that means is the whole point of letting go and being detached is becoming okay with the fact that you cannot control everything. Being okay with letting go of everything in life, not just from people, letting everything unfold as it should without you trying to constantly change it.
Yeah, you try to change it by literally just obsessing and fixating and overthinking about it. Does that change anything?
That just controls you.
No, that is mind. Yeah, that is controlling you, how you feel and your emotions. And so there is also this quote: the more you try to control something, the more it ends up controlling you.
Okay, and lastly, being detached is actually so beautiful because you don't come from a place of need. You come from a place of love and abundance. You're not going into relationships and friendships because you need this person to be fulfilled, to fulfill your purpose. Once you have that detached mindset, you do not go into these relationships thinking that you need those people. You go into them because you know that there are countless people in this world that are amazing, that you're gonna love, that you can form beautiful relationships with, and you're actually going to love them. It is not going to be obsessive. It's actually going to be pure love.
Being detached is being okay with not having anyone. Basically what you said, not needing anyone. Being okay with being by yourself at the end of the day and loving yourself enough. Again, this is why it's all connected. Loving yourself enough and knowing yourself enough and loving your company enough to be okay with not having anyone. And then when somebody comes, you just, on your already full cup, it's just overflow. It's just more love. And then you can love that person with freedom, not with being scared that if they leave you, you're not going to be okay. No, loving them fully without being attached, just loving them and enjoying their experience for however long it lasts.
Yeah, being detached is being okay with the fact that really good people are going to come into your life, but the same way they can leave, and you're still going to be okay. You're not going to depend on them.
Yeah, and when you're detached, you create most beautiful connections and friendships because you're just not scared. You don't love because you expect them to love you back. You love just because you love, not because, okay, I'm going to love you and you need to give me the love back. I'm not loving you just because I'm loving you. I'm loving you in order to get something from you, to get love from you. No, I'm loving you just because I have love in me and I want to love you. You don't need to give me love back.
And just to clarify, once again, being detached does not at all mean that you cannot love somebody, that you cannot become really close to somebody. You can do all of those things. The whole point is that you do not depend on them. Yeah. You can be infinitely close to them and still not depend on them. And again, because at the end of the day, you just have yourself and you have to accept that.
Whatever is meant for you will find you. What is most aligned with you at that moment will come on its own. And that's why you should just let it and believe it truly, deeply, that there are people who are looking exactly for you and that they will come. So don't look for someone who is not looking for you.
Learning to let go and detach is going to be hard. Even we struggle with that a lot. But just like anything related to self-growth, it is hard. And it requires serious willpower and readiness and being prepared to actually make a change. Yeah, but we're here to support you. We love you and thank you for watching. Make sure to check out our people pleasing video. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.